This episode is brought to you by Audio Editing Solutions. Do you want a great sounding podcast but don't have time to edit each episode?
I do.
Then why not let the professionals at Audio Editing Solutions take care of that for you? Don't spend any more of your precious time trying to edit on your own. Visit audioeditingsolutions.com and get back to the fun of podcasting.
Welcome to another episode of the Brand X Podcast. I'm John, and with me in studio, as usual, my co-host, Deuce. How you doing, Deuce?
Como esta, bitches? How you doing?
Pretty good. Well, you know, it was funny. Sunday, I had the kids. I don't usually get the kids all the time because they don't want to hang out with Dad. You know, they want to do their own thing. But
we're at that age now.
Yeah, my daughter had to go to get her. She's looking for a prom dress, so they're going to drop my son off. I'm like, okay. Yeah, bring him over. But I have a client that I record with. I record their podcast. They're in Texas. So what happens is we use the same cast that you and I used to use, and I record them, and then we edit their podcast. So my daughter was sleeping at a friend's house, and she says to me, well, I want to come home. Can you take me home at 1 o'clock? I said, listen, I don't have time to mess around. If you want to go at 1 o'clock, it has to be 1 o'clock. Well, I think I'm going to stay here until mom picks us up. I said, all right, but listen, don't call me at 3 because I have to record at 4 o'clock. I cannot miss that. Okay. 3 o'clock, get a text. Dad, can you pick me up? They're leaving. I can't stay here. I'm like, I said, what'd I tell you? I said, well, get ready. I said, because we got to move. I go upstairs. I go, come on, John, get in the truck. We jump in the truck. We fly over there. I get over there. I find the place. It's almost like a SEAL 6 operation. You know, I zing in, get in the car. So she gets in the car. So I'm flying on my way back. And as I'm going down, you know, which we call fast food alley, every fast food place, the kids are like, can we stop at McDonald's? Okay, we'll stop at McDonald's. All right. Well, you know what you want? Yeah. Go in and get the whole order in. I go to pull up. The McDonald's there's two lines. You can pull the one and there's an outside line. So I look and I'm thinking to myself, which one is going to be the fastest? So I see the one guy starting to
the
lean.
one that you don't get in.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
So I pull in, I pull up to this one, and I'm looking at her, and she's sitting there, and I got my window down, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden the lady leans her head out the window, and this is what I hear. What's the difference between the 3 sizes of the Big Mac? I'm like, so this is what she hears. What are you, out of your mind? Why don't you go inside and figure that out? People got shit to do. So.
Oh, wait a minute. You mean to tell me there's 3 sizes of Big Mac?
New 2? Yes.
I don't go to McDonald's.
There's 3 now. There's new 3 sizes of the Big Mac. I don't eat them either. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know what they do to the food, but whatever it is, I might as well just sit on the toilet and eat it.
It's like a laxative.
Oh, because within like 15 minutes, my body says, all exits are open. No waiting. And it's just like, I have to go. It's just like, it's terrible food.
Well, I mean,
I had no idea that there was 3 different sizes of Big Macs. Because for years, it was always the Whopper and the Whopper Jr. I knew about that. Decades, really, that's been going on.
Right. Well, and then
McDonald's finally caught on.
What's on the Big Mac? Lady, are you kidding me? 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. No, hold on. This is what it said. What are you, crazy? 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, on a sesame seed bun. Get out of line! So I order my chicken McNuggets for the kids, and they get the sweet tea and the vanilla shake and all that kind of stuff. So I get the food in the car, race back to the house, up the steps, down the steps, get in here, get to the studio, get everything set, and then
on the verge of a heart attack just to get here.
And the way my daughter says to me on the way over here, can I watch? She's into the show House.
The curmudgeon doctor.
Right. And she watches it on Netflix. So she wanted to watch it here. Now, with me, Netflix is on this part of the channel. It's not that it's hard to do, but you got to know what you're doing. You got to change the TV to this input. You got to put Netflix up. You got to, sign in and all that kind of stuff. So as I'm running in, she goes, I want to watch so-and-so on Netflix. I said, no, if you're going to watch it on Netflix, come downstairs and watch it on my iPad because I don't have time for that. I don't have time. She goes, I'll figure it out. I said, oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. I'm going to tell you right now because if I'm down there and I'm recording and I hear, I can't get the TV to work, I will come upstairs and unplug the TV. All right? It's fine. I'll watch it on my phone. I'm like, oh, here we go. So I was a little nervous because I got my son on the internet. I've got her live streaming. You're
using all the bandwidth.
Right. and these two people in Texas, and I'm here, and I'm trying to record them. But I got to tell you, I have Verizon Fios, and I have the 75 Mbps's up and down, and I'm plugged in. Mm-hmm. I'm plugged in. Yeah, it's either 25, 50, 75, or 100. So I don't care what it is.
I have the Evil Empire, whatever they're doing.
Right. So, I'm plugged in right to the router, and I use the correct cord because for the longest time I had a Cat 4 cord. Now they're up to Cat 7. Well, Cat 7 carries more information back and forth. Mm-hmm. So it was like you have a garden hose, and you have an 1/8-inch diameter hose, or you have a garden hose and it looks like a fire hose. You can get much more.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'll go with that. And I'll have to tell you, I had no problems, with any of the recording. The kids are upstairs watching House. John was watching his videos or whatever he does on the computer. But, so it was kind of cool. Mm. Got that all done. The missus came up finally. I got them out of there. And then the missus came over and the former missus and gathered those kids up. And
I was going to say, you have an announcement to make?
Yes, I have an announcement to make. I'm still divorced. That's my announcement. I'm still single and ready to mingle.
What the hell do I thought maybe you jetted off to Vegas, did the old chapel and
that's all I need is
Elvis Presley, a shotgun wedding thing in Las Vegas. Didn't Britney Spears do that? Like the next day she got divorced years and years ago.
Yeah.
She married like some dude she went to school with.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because the Grammys were yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you watched them.
Oh, yeah. It was.
Were you riveted to the TV?
Oh, yeah.
So it's a whole...
Actually, the Walking Fred debuted yesterday. Walking Dead. Yeah. So Joe was over and we were watching that.
See, I don't watch any of that because that gives me nightmares.
Really?
It does. It seeps into my subconscious, and then next thing I know, them son of a bitches are chasing me all over the place at night, and I don't have time for that.
Yeah, but you have guns.
Not in my sleep, and even if I do, they're never loaded, and I can't run.
And I'm naked, and I'm in school,
right?
And I'm not passing.
It's crazy.
It's like every conceivable dream that you ever have.
Right. My dad's yelling at me.
Yeah.
So,
but you watch the Grammys then?
No. You don't have to watch TV anymore. Like you don't have to watch anything anymore because what happens is people are there watching it, and they will curate the best stuff and put it on social media. So you either go to Twitter or Facebook or something like that, and it'll be there. And I saw a story about Katy Perry got into a snit with Britney Spears, and I don't even think she said anything bad. We're so touchy now. We're like, if anybody says anything about us, we're like, oh, I can't believe she said that. So Katy Perry had taken a hiatus for a while. And she goes, yeah, I needed some time off. I didn't go crazy or anything. I didn't shave my head or anything. Well, that's a direct reference. Okay, so what? She didn't go crazy?
Yeah.
Britney Spears didn't go crazy. She didn't shave her head. Of course she shaved.
No, but you can see that's a shot.
Why is that a shot? If I shave my head,
well, because she used the word crazy.
She was crazy. Britney was crazy back then.
It was a little irrational behavior, but
a little irrational.
Crazy. I mean, is Katy Perry now a psychiatrist and she's got a doctorate and she could determine crazy?
Well, first of all, I know that if I decided to go whatever off the deep end and shave my head,
no one would
stop working and shave my head. Back in the day when I was younger, had hair and shaved my head. Then, whenever somebody said, oh, yeah, he did it, John. He went off the deep end, shaved his head.
Yeah.
Or he went off the deep end. Well, he didn't do it, John. He didn't shave his head. Yeah. It'd be one of those things. And I'd be like, fair enough. Okay, I get you.
So what did Britney say?
Well, Britney did what Britney really should do. She took a picture of her body laying on the beach in a bikini and then put some kind of nonsensical post underneath of it like, yeah, look at this body. I'm doing fine. Mm-hmm. She is. I mean, she looks good. Them old broads they're holding up. Her.
Oh yeah, when you're in your 30s, that's so old.
Hey, got to push out a couple pups. I've seen a couple 30-year-olds and not be able to handle that.
Yeah, but they're not in show business either.
That's true.
Yeah.
They don't have
Because when you're not in show business, you're allowed to get the fuckets. I was like, this is it. I'm going to McDonald's and getting that huge Big Mac. That's what I'm doing.
What's the difference in the sizes of the Big Mac? Does your chicken nuggets is there any gluten in the chicken nuggets?
How old is Katy Perry? She's like in her 20s.
No,
she's not in her 30s yet. I don't think.
All right, hold on. Let's go to the.
Because Brittany, I think, is like 30.
Let's go to the
2 or
Google.
33, I guess. She might even be a little bit older than that.
Of course, I can't type. That's my problem. Okay, here we go. It'll pop up in 2 seconds. Katy Perry, born in 1984. Can you do the math?
So she's 34.
Yeah, 34.
I didn't think she was that old.
Yeah, I know. She looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep. Katy Perry called out for head shaving comment. Oh, can't be joking about the mental health. That's not good.
The best call out and the best revenge was Courtney Love. Remember Courtney? Courtney Love,
the
Kurt O'Brain's wife.
Right.
Well, remember back in the day, she had that group Hole.
Yes.
Okay, and she was like, first of all, she was a trust baby. So she was like trying to be the indifferent millennial, like, oh, I don't need money.
I don't need money. I have it, but I don't need it.
Her grandfather set her up as a trust baby, or someone in her family, from what I understand, set her up as a trust baby. So, yeah, she didn't need a job. But anyway, so she said something to the effect like, I don't need to be a cheerleader like Gwen Stefani, who at the time was in the group No Doubt.
Yeah.
And Gwen Stefani was, and that's where the whole Holler Back song came from.
Oh,
that's what that was. That was like a big stick it up your ass, Courtney Love, and Gwen Stefani won because she's still relevant.
Well, not only that, but that song probably made her a boatload of money.
Oh yeah,
Listen, do me a favor, insult me. I'll write a song about you.
Yeah, we can talk about the ultimate
and I'll make a ton of money.
I'm going to get a platinum record out of this. And
listen, Taylor Swift has made a whole career out of that. She goes out with a guy, they break up, she writes writes a song about him. And it goes number one.
I thought you were going to go with the Kanye West thing.
Well, that too.
That whole weird. That was weird when that's the one time I just happened to be like surfing through.
Just happened.
Yeah, because
you saw that live.
I saw when not when he ripped the mic out of her hand. Right. But I saw her standing there and him saying, let's be honest, Beyonce has the best. And like you can see the look of shock on her face. I'm like, wow, what the hell did I just miss? Yeah. So I had to wait until the next day. And
I would have loved it when she gave the mic to him, that Taylor Swift would have just took the mic and went and knocked him right off the stage.
There you go. Kanye with his perpetual resting bitch face.
Right.
The guy's never happy.
No, of course he's not. Why would he be happy? He's got millions of dollars. He's married to a Kardashian. Why wouldn't you be happy?
Crazy.
I think even Donald Trump is separating himself from the Kanye.
Yeah, I don't even know. I know Kanye. I think it's the other way around.
Yeah, Kanye is now.
Kanye probably caught shit from his peeps, and
sure
so he
did.
has to like.
Oh yeah. He got a couple Uncle Toms. Next thing you know, he's deleting Trump tweets.
Yeah, I didn't even. I remember when that happened, and I remember saying, "Well, this won't end well."
Right.
You just know.
Kanye, my man. But so anyhow, that was my that was kind of like my week. I was yelling at people at drive-thrus. I do feel that if you're going to the drive-thru,
I don't even use drive-thrus because I find that they take longer.
Okay.
Because I go to Chick-fil-A.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Chick-fil-A takes forever.
No, they don't. They're actually pretty fast. And the Chick-fil-A around my place, it's like my best my best dream come true, not nightmare. They opened the Chick-fil-A like 200 yards away from my house. So, you have a bad habit when they walk in there and they say, "Oh, hi, Deuce, number one with a small vanilla shake." And they're like, yeah, okay. Yeah. So it's just like they got me pegged. But if you're in the drive-thru, they send kids out there with tablets and they run up and down to every car before they even get to that speaker. They keep it moving. It's like they're pretty innovative.
Okay.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is they only do that during the peak times, like say between 11 and 1, lunchtime. But Banks or Chick-fil-A or anything, I don't use the drive-thrus because I find it's faster. So many people are clogging up the line. I find it faster to park the car, turn the car off, walk in, and I come out, and the same cars that are in line are still in line in the drive-thru.
Right. I try not to go during peak times. But my thing is that you should know what you want. If you get
you had no choice with your kid.
Yeah,
they made that decision for you this time.
Yeah. But listen, I'm not going in anyhow.
Right.
That's what drive-ins were made for. They were made for people with kids, they want to drag them in and out, and for fat people that don't want to be shamed for walking in and ordering a...
Well, you know that they were really drive-through started from the oil companies, so you'll use more gas.
You really think that's what it was?
Well, I figured I could get you to bite on that because you believe any cockamamie conspiracy theory that comes down the pike.
I'm sorry, that one didn't work.
It wasn't flying, huh?
No.
You throw them against the wall, you see what'll stick.
Once in a while.
It's no less rational than some of the shit you do believe. So
yeah. But my favorite place to go, my favorite fast food place is Taco Bell. I'm a Taco Bell guy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
So the problem is that they get you. They're like drug dealers, but then they string you out on this stuff, and then they do away with it, and it just pisses me off.
What do you mean they do away with it?
It's like they just had these three tacos.
Oh, well, I know what you mean. Yeah, they'll do like a special.
Yeah, and then you're like,
meal.
damn, I like this one or whatever it was. It was the sweet chili one taco. It was really, really good. And I'd go in and get a couple of them, and all of a sudden I go back and it says sold out. I'm like, sold out? How is that sold out? Are you out of taco shells? Are you out of lettuce? Are you out of cheese? Are you out of ground beef? Is that how it's sold out? How is that sold out?
Well, they probably come pretty prepared.
No. They have everything there. They just put everything and they put the beef.
Well, maybe the
sauce.
Your particular Taco Bell did an overwhelmingly good job with it.
They decided that they're not going to do them anymore, so they waited until the sauce ran out. They put sold out, and the only one left is that stupid.
You know what? That is open because they're generally franchises. Now that you say this, I knew someone that had a Burger King franchise, and they had a special years ago, and it's up to them if they want to participate in the full time. Like they always have to take it, but they don't have to like order a whole lot of it. So it's up to the individual franchisee.
Yeah, back in the day they used to have these things that were called.
If they were all corporate stores, it'd be like, "F you, you're going to have this whole time." But
they had a buffalo chicken grill. I loved it. It was fantastic. It was my favorite thing to eat there.
Burger King?
No, Taco Bell.
Oh, okay.
And then all of a sudden they did away with it. I'm like, what do you mean you're doing away with it? Oh yeah, they're not making that anymore. What?
They stopped making cows?
Yeah, they stopped making. Well, it was chicken. It was a buffalo chicken there. So you don't.
I thought you said it was a rib thing.
No, buffalo chicken griller. That's what it was called. So
my bad.
Yeah, they do it all the time. Now they've got this thing. It's a fried chicken taco shell, and I tried that. That's horrible. The chicken is so over. It's got so much pepper on it. It's terrible. So I was like, yeah, okay, scratch that off. They'll probably have that forever. That'll be the new thing forever.
If I was going to eat a burger at a fast food joint, Wendy's is the best in my opinion.
I like Burger King
because they're never frozen.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder if Burger King's frozen.
Well, they're flame broiled.
Oh,
they all had their thing. But remember Fast Eddie Rendell, the former mayor of Philadelphia? He had to intercede on behalf of Wendy's because they never freeze their burgers, and they were quarter-pound burgers. Right. Well, if you freeze a burger, all the water is frozen in that patty. But since they never froze them, like they were weighed out, well, the water will run out of an unfrozen patty. So, and of course, the Philadelphia, now they were fine, but then of course I guess, I don't know what department of the health inspector or I don't know, someone came in there and they weighed the patty and it was a little bit less than a quarter of a pound. And they tried to fine Wendy's and the
Department of Taking Bribes.
That's probably what it was.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I know that Philadelphia is like, they have the business privilege tax. So it's just because
what is a privilege?
Oh, it's
business
a privilege
tax.
It's a privilege
to work here,
to open up a business in Philadelphia. It's like, wait a minute. Like, back the truck up here.
Yeah.
I'm sinking money that I saved up. I'm buying real estate or renting real estate. I'm going to pay the gas bill, the electric bill, the water bill, the sewage bill. And I got to pay a privilege tax? I mean, because Philadelphia is such a wonderful place to do business in.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They got you. Well, you know from working there in the elevator business.
Right. It's no privilege to work there. I'll be quite honest with you.
Yeah. Well, my grandfather, I told you about the dry ice story. I don't know if I told him on the podcast or not. Because back in the day.
With the
plumbing,
plumber,
the water thing. Yeah, he just froze he said, screw you, Philadelphia. And he just went to the ice house, bought dry ice, froze the water main, cut the damn pipe off, then replaced the pipe, brazed it, and soldered it right up. And then when it melted, he had water again.
There you go.
And it was like, this was like in the late 30s or early 40s. They were going to charge him $50 just to come out and turn the water off.
Right.
So that he could do that.
I'll show you.
Yeah, it was like, well, my grandfather didn't talk like Genghis, but, you know.
Oh, it must have been on your mother's side.
No, it was his father.
Well, then he has to talk
Genghis took after his mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite the voice for a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to disparage your grandmother.
Actually, Joe and Michael, and they all look like my technically, the don't look like that. They all look like.
Do I have to cut that out now?
Yeah, yes, you do.
Damn.
And they look like the Trezzatis. You can keep that one in. Yeah, my really out of all my father's siblings, only his oldest sister looked like my grandfather. Resembled that side of the rest of them all resemble my grandmother.
Okay.
So they don't so they didn't talk like that.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's a long about,
Not on this podcast, they're going to talk like that. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, okay. Well, fine, but we talk about your family.
You can make up any voice you want. They can all talk like Big T. I don't care. I really don't.
I don't know how Big T talks. So,
well,
I know.
Here, this Big T. Well, everybody in our family, when we talk about somebody else, it's always this voice. Whatever you say there, whatever you're going to do there.
Yeah, Jimmy really doesn't sound like that.
No, he doesn't. But when we talk about on here, he does. Big T. So
did they imitate your voice that way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's.
It's a community voice?
It's the voice we do when we talk about each other. Yes, because we talk about each other. If Jimmy and Michael are together, they're talking about me. If me and Michael are together, we're talking about Jimmy. If Jimmy and me are together, we're talking about Mike. It's just the way it is. No sense of getting upset. Yeah, exactly. All right, see the Rockefellers out snowmobiling again. Exactly. Well, after the election, I don't know if you noticed this, Deuce, but there was a lot of protests going on.
No, I wasn't aware of that.
And there's a couple of instances where the protesters marched out into the street. They marched in the highway. They was marching.
March with me
against the Republicans and conservatives.
March with me.
So a bunch of college kids, they decide to waltz out on the highway chanting, "He's not our president," or whatever the heck they were chanting. And at night, of course, the driver can't see them. Mm-hmm. Knocks one of them off, kills them. Now the person who hit them.
Point of disclosure here, I do like watching those videos on YouTube of the guys that say, "Screw this, I got to go to work," and they just drive right through the line of protesters.
Oh, yeah.
I do enjoy that.
Okay. Well, then you should move to Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Road trip.
Because the Tennessee, a representative, Matthew Hill from the 7th District in Washington County, Tennessee, is giving immunity to anyone who runs over a protester that is blocking traffic in other thoroughfares.
Nice.
Right? How about that?
Yeah, couldn't happen soon enough.
Would you run over somebody? Do you think you could do that?
Well, a lot of those things, when they were swarming around the things, it wasn't like they were just gunning the engine and plowing right through. They would be trying to get through, and then they would all surround and they would start beating on these people's cars.
Well,
and,
then it's
game on now.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
So you're going under, and they hide behind the First Amendment,
right?
When they do that crap,
right?
They kind of overlook the part where it says peacefully assemble.
Right. I have the 22nd Amendment, which means I'm scared. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get out the way! Yeah, I don't know.
Somewhere around in the country, they blocked an ambulance that was taking someone to the hospital. And,
I think
these
guy
people,
died.
Yeah, and these people don't care. It's
no,
just
they don't care.
Not
our president.
Yeah.
Not our president.
Yeah, that's all they worry about. Just they go right out. They're just, robots. They go right out. Yeah.
Oh, you cut that off. I was waiting for the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't need the rest.
All right. Just checking. Just checking.
I mean, that's long coming. Because that's if you were to do that on your own, just block traffic, you'd go to jail.
Right.
You'd get cited for it. You get a ticket.
How many do you think you need before you don't go to jail? I would say 10.
What's that?
And, if you get 10 people blocking a road, then they'll take you to jail.
You should be blocking any road whatsoever.
I agree with you.
I mean, I don't even know how this. I hope the other remaining 49 states enact it.
Could you imagine that? They all march out in the street.
I'll tell you what, it'll send a warning once. It's you know what?
Yeah, once you plow through them.
Yeah, burned hand teaches best.
Well, I mean,
they won't do that again.
When they had the inauguration, and
the anarchists running amok.
Yeah, and they ran over there and they broke the windows at the Starbucks and I forget what other stores.
They torched a limousine and
right. If they pan back, all the police are behind them watching this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they just didn't swoop in and start cracking skulls and arresting people.
I can't speak to it, but they were probably concerned that this could be a diversionary tactic and there could have been an attempt being made on the president.
They're still sitting there. They're not covering the president.
I don't know. I don't know what the
they were.
What the
if
reason
you
was.
I saw a camera shot from further back, and there's all these policemen on motorcycles, policemen walking and all, and they watched that happen.
It wasn't a couple of hundred protesters.
So what?
Versus how many cops?
There had to be 20, 30 cops in there
Against 200.
Well, not all of them are going to go running in there. There's a bunch of anarchists, or as I call them, assholes.
Mm-hmm. When you go in there with a mask, you're up to no good.
Right. As soon as there's a mask on,
black clothes and a mask, it's like
that's it.
This isn't a peaceful protest.
Right. You need an ass whooping. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, listen, I'm all for protesting and stuff like that, but when you're going in there and destroying a property, setting stuff on fire, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
We need law and order here. That's not a peaceful protest. With the exception of some littering, I thought the women did a fine job. They protested, they marched.
They marched.
March with me.
They didn't have to make sandwiches that day.
They didn't have to make sandwiches. There was no wash being done.
There was a lot of unopened beers lying around in refrigerators.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, listen.
I got unfriended over that. I think I told you that.
No, really?
Oh,
Someone
yeah.
Who unfriended you?
Somebody that and it wasn't aimed at her. We were at work and they were clogging our Facebook time. Someone at work was clogging our Facebook timeline feed up with all that crap. No, just because she thought she thought this was a wonderful thing and everything.
Right.
So somebody who will remain nameless, it might have been me, decided to invoke the sandwich joke.
Yeah.
And that caught fire like crazy.
Yes.
Well, here, a girl that I went to school with, she was at the Philadelphia March. Right. And I'd started it off with boy, you think all these girls could pick somewhere else to get together to learn how to make sandwiches, and then it was just a pile on. Yeah, I unfriend you. And she got that's the funny thing. That's a whole nother topic right there that I'll get into. But I came home and it was how you just notice I haven't seen anything from so-and-so because some people are just all over Facebook like a rash.
Right.
Like you are on Twitter.
Yeah.
So it's just I haven't and then I checked and I was like, oh, how about that?
I unfriend you.
I've been unfriended. And it was a girl I went to school with my whole life, from the first grade right through high school. So But it was weird because up until this election, she was a lurker. She was there, once in a while you'd see a picture of her dog or something like that. And then she came out in support of Bernie.
Okay.
Which is fine. I laid low on the whole thing with this election because Facebook is a mess.
Right.
And, then when
I did too.
When he get the nomination, she ramped up, she got crazy. And then she was full bore Hillary, and then when Trump won, oh yeah, heretofore you never saw this woman ever on Facebook. She just lost her shit. She just went crazy.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I actually did post on Facebook though was Trump might not make America better, but he sure has made Saturday Night Live funny again. I mean, my goodness, holy mackerel! I haven't watched that show in 30 years.
Yeah, I haven't watched since he's not ready for primetime players left.
And now
that was in '79.
They've got Melissa McCarthy doing Spicer. They have the girl, the same one that does Hillary. I can't think of her name now because I don't really know him that well. Mm-hmm. She did Kellyanne Conway as what was it? Oh my God, where they
they made Saturday Night Live so good. It's so memorable.
It's not that. It's my stupid memory. Fatal Attraction video. They made the Fatal Attraction scene with her in there and the guy Jack Tapper. So it was you're not gonna ignore me. I'm not gonna be ignored. It was funny. It was really good. And now Rosie O'Donnell wants to come because she looks just like Bannon. She's going to come on and do Bannon. I mean, they're lining up to come in and just.
So that was what was wrong with the Flintstones movie.
Rosie O'Donnell?
Yeah, because Betty Rubble was a piece of ass, and they hired the most unattractive woman in the world to play Betty Rubble.
Well, who would you have hired to play Betty Rubble? Well, anybody but her.
Anybody but her.
Right.
I mean, Betty was
She
not...
could do the voice, though.
Yeah, that's great. Let's put a big fatso in.
She wasn't that fat back then.
Oh, yeah, okay.
She really wasn't that fat.
You needed Derek to get her up out of the bed.
That's not true.
Oh, it is true.
She was a lot thinner then than she is now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so instead of weighing 1,000 pounds, she was a svelte 780.
Well, I don't know about all this fat shaming over here. I'm offended. Anyhow, so that was the only thing that was wrong with the Flintstone movie. What about the...
John Goodman was an excellent Fred.
What about Baldwin as the Barney?
He wasn't bad.
And the Wilma was so...
Well, she was a real prig, just like Wilma in real life was. So
I don't even know who... I couldn't even tell you who played her. I have no idea.
No, I don't know either. The original Betty, the original Wilma, I think she's dead now. She had a cameo in that.
Really?
Not that you would know, because who would know what she looks like?
Nobody would.
Yeah, but she was like in a crowd scene or something like that. They like threw her in there.
Go ahead, get in there. Come on, get your SAG credit for this century.
Oh, yeah. Here you go.
Here you go. All right, let's do that for you.
So we'll help you out. You're the only one that's left.
I'm looking forward to plowing through some protesters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, road trip, Tennessee, huh?
Yeah.
You way to go, Tennessee.
What about this story that you brought up?
Yeah, this was... And
he's never ready.
Yep, I am ready.
Okay, go
Take it back. Okay. The headline is Woman's Reputation Ruined After Her Photo is Misrepresented Online. And this posted a year ago, but it just kind of came up now. It hit social media or whatever. And it says, imagine waking up one morning to find a picture of yourself all over the internet atop a negative satirical article with thousands of comments. You probably wouldn't be too thrilled. This nightmare became a reality for 22-year-old mom Karina Bennett, who stumbled across a photo of her with her family after her first son was born, featured in an article about a made-up mom named Anita Sullivan, who supposedly had 14 kids with 14 different men. Bennett encountered the article after she was tagged in a Facebook post by someone she used to work with. Confused as to why she was being tagged, Bennett clicked on the link and was shocked to see her photo at the top of the page. The article, just to be clear, is a satirical piece posted on a satirical website, quickly went viral. People all over the internet shared, retweeted, and posted the story, which is how Bennett found it so quickly. She was horrified to find out that this story had people all over the world thinking that she had 14 children with 14 different men. Even though they didn't use her real name, Bennett is still worried that people on the street might recognize her and call her out for being the made-up mother from the article. In an interview with the Detroit Free Press, Bennett said that this story has tainted a picture of one of her fondest moments. It was definitely a big shock. I guess it is what it is. Sometimes I feel like it isn't such a big deal. It just stinks. I feel like I'll never officially get everything down. It's just hard. It's just still out there, and people are still commenting. Yeah, here it is a year later, and we're still finding out about this.
If you take and Google your name, all right,
which I don't.
All right. So if you Googled your name and you went to images, you'll be surprised how many pictures there are of you from Facebook or wherever.
This little black duck.
Okay, I know everybody else but you. So one of the things is, and I've done it before, I need a picture for a meme or something like that. I go over and I'll go into Google and I'll type up
like a fat guy on a guitar, like
fat guy on a guitar. Okay, we'll talk about that. So I'll Google up fat guy on a guitar. I'll steal that picture and I'll make a meme out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that person is in the meme. And that meme ends up going, if someone else goes and Googles fat guy with a guitar, that'll pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason we say that is because we were listening to Bad Cop last. Well, when I say we, I mean I
heard it.
Okay. And Dave's trying to lose weight. He's struggling. And Jerry went out and wrote a new song for it. And it was instead of Eye of the Tiger, it was Eye of the Tubby, which was an excellent song parody.
And he got a singer to actually perform it.
Right. It was a fantastic job. Matter of fact, I was a little upset because Dave was laughing so hard, I couldn't hear the lyrics. And Jerry sent me the lyrics to it. He actually sent me the handwritten lyrics. I felt like, I had a copy of...
So it was going to go for auction like someday.
Like I had the handwritten lyrics of John Lennon when he wrote Imagine or something like that. So it was
It's going to go with the Sotheby's for auction.
Right. So it was Eye of the Tubby. So I got the idea of what if Eye of the Tubby was an album and, they would go on tour. Dave went on tour. So I went and I Googled fat guy with a guitar, and I already have Dave's head, and I have a guy. And the guy...
Everyone has a guy.
Right. He's really good with Photoshop and what's the other one? Illustrator. So I said,
so many out there now.
Right. And I said, listen, can you take this guy and put his head on it? Because I want to do the Eye of the Tubby tour. And not only did he did that, but he put the guy on a stage and did the Eye of the Tubby tour and dates, and he made up a fictitious club and stuff like that. And it was fantastic. So then I sent it to Dave and I sent it to Jerry. And they seem to enjoy it. But yeah, so just like that.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because you mentioned the memes. Like, there's so many memes that are out there. Like that little kid, that little girl in the backseat of the car, like kind of looking at you. Like, like that'll go on forever. And that dorky kid with the sweater, like the sweater vest, and you see the same people over and over again. It's like these poor people, But getting back to this story, I mean, you would think that there would be some kind of legal recourse for this woman.
Well, there is.
Well, actually, there's not, because World Daily News Report also has a legal disclaimer on its site about well, I'm getting ahead of it. But basically, so they say the fictitious website has something along these lines,
saying that this is a made-up article with made-up people and none of it's real.
And any resemblance between them and any person's living, dead or undead, is purely a miracle.
But so if she has the same picture,
she can't do anything, even though it's her picture with her child.
That is bullshit.
You would think that you would, because people sue for a lot less valid reasons than this.
Right.
I mean, it's just kind of striking that she has no legal recourse.
Well, I'll tell a story that, being a podcast editor, I had someone call me and said, listen, I'm in trouble. I have a podcast, and the title of the podcast is Talk It Out. And it was two psychiatrists, and they did a radio show in Debbie and Kelly, and they did a radio show in Los Angeles, and they would take the hour and they made a podcast out of it. They would take the audio and they would put it on an RSS feed. It was, they would have it a podcast, or you could listen to it live, or you could listen to it on the radio station's website. So all of a sudden, they get a letter, cease and desist order, and says, I have Talk It Out. I have it copyrighted, or I have a copyright on it. Or so they said, either pay me $10,000 to keep it.
Wow.
Right. $10,000, or take every mention of Talk It out of there. And that just infuriated me, because how can you, you know what I want to say? I'm going to copyright Scratch My Ass. Mm-hmm. So every time someone writes Scratch My Ass, you got to pay me.
Right.
Or anytime you put Scratch My Ass on anything, you got to pay me. I mean, who the hell are they to take a phrase, just a regular generic phrase, and copyright?
Well, not only that, if you can steal something out from underneath somebody else if they didn't trademark or patent it, right. Like the World Wrestling Federation.
Right. What was it? There's something else was that.
The World Wildlife Federation.
So, and then they had to change it to the WWE.
Right, because of that. Because who would have thought that people would mix that up? It's like how that just goes down. It's just because you didn't do it. Not only and it just happened once. Not to bring up the election again, but Tim Kaine, he was the vice presidential candidate for Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody 4 years ago, took that domain name, timkaine.com or whatever like that.
Right.
And
probably a guy named Tim Kaine.
No. Just this is what people do.
Sure they do.
Yeah, they'll keep their eye on public figures or politicians, just rolling the dice.
Right.
That person might become the person that's running or become someone influential. And then what they do is they control the domain name. So you couldn't use your own name because they already did it 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
And then they could post whatever they want on it. And then what happens is if they want the site bad enough, they'll come up and they'll buy the name off you.
Right.
So I think someone did that to another politician, but they said, hey, here's the money, we'll take it off you. And, you know, because this guy was like putting satirical content on about Tim Kaine. He was like putting links, sending them to like other political candidates.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of funny.
Well, because it's funny because he's a Democrat.
No, it's funny because this guy, he thought years down the road.
Well, I hear you.
Because, I mean, as much as in the politics that I'm in, I would have never bet in 1,000 years that Tim Kaine would even get the nod.
A lot of people go out and they speculate on domain names.
Yeah.
And then if you want it, they'll sell it to you. It'll cost you, you can buy a domain name for $1.99 or $19.
Because if I was like a gambling man, I would have said, well, okay, Marco Rubio, that's like an obvious one. You know, I would have. Tim Kaine was like a pretty obscure guy.
It's funny that there's, if you have a very common name,
mm-hmm.
It's very hard to get that domain name. But if there's only a couple of you, you can get that whatever name.com, like my name. I have myname.com. I have it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to, I can have my name at myname.com as an email address.
Well, you remember my old business, what it was called, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
Butts and Bets.
Right.
All right. My uncle and his partner started that. Okay. And he trademarked it. And then, of course, that was the name of my business and everything. Well, after New Jersey and the federal government basically extinguished the tobacco business, my uncle let it lapse. Well, if you were to Google Butts and Bets, they're all over the country.
Right.
And every once in a while, I'll run into someone. When I was my last job, I was, I know the guy that invented that. And it's always not my uncle or his partner.
Right.
And I say, well, you're full of shit. So,
I'll show you.
Well, I mean, it's the point is moot, but it's because as soon as it lapsed,
mm-hmm.
I mean, all these people from another land, they ran out there.
And they'll buy those domain names.
Yeah. Well, they took it. And there's Butts and Bets, I think, in all 50 states now.
Okay. Well, what they do is if they take that domain name and they buy it from another land,
mm-hmm.
what they'll do is they'll take your domain name and they'll start running articles back and forth. And it's a way to bring up another business in Google's rankings. Everything's a big scam nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's done naturally, which is that's a story for another day. But as far as, the domain names, anybody can buy them.
And now they have those protect your name in case people slander you on Google or whatever. You got these businesses that have to like.
Oh, I got a story for you.
Okay.
It actually happened today. I bought a domain name just the other day
mm-hmm.
because I was thinking about
what does that cost?
It's like $15.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's $15 a year.
That's cheap.
Yeah. So I bought a domain name, and all of a sudden, all these people from another land, I start getting emails, and
mm-hmm.
now they're calling you on the phone. They call you on the phone, and I go, hello. And they go, hello, is John there? John speaking. Hello, my name is George, and I'm calling you. We run a website design. We do make your website better, SEO. We do all kinds of design. I'm here to help you do a design. I go, that's all right. I don't need it. I do my own design.
I know a guy.
Yeah, I know a guy. So he goes, oh, that's great. As I was saying, we do really cheap design work. I go, hey, get the camel hair out of your ears. I do my own work. Oh, okay. Bye. And they hang up. So an hour before you came here.
Right.
Phone rings from New York. I go, okay. Pick up the phone. Hello, is John there? Yeah, it's John. Hi, my name is
Raj.
It's
always Raj.
Well, usually they make up an American name.
Well, that's what they did. They take the first letter, like if it's...
My name is Ronnie. I'm Ronnie, and I will build you a website very, very cheaply if you just a couple dollars. And and I lost my mind. I lost my shit. I'm like, will you people please leave me alone? I built my own websites. I don't need you. All right?
There's a lot of mics from another land.
Yeah. I would love it if the guy said, "Hello, I'm Mahesh, and I'm here to build you a website." Really?
It's like my uncle said that time. How the hell many Maheshes do you have over there?
So, yeah, it's like now they're calling you on your cell phone. Like you can't even get anything. You can't get away from the marketers on your cell phone now.
Since I got an iPhone, I think I must have blocked in the last 2 months 10,000 numbers because they come from everywhere.
Yeah.
Like Colorado, Utah, New York, Louisiana, like areas. I like, and I don't give my cell phone number out to anybody unless I know them.
Right.
So it's just like
There's no sense.
So if that phone rings, it better have your name attached to it. Or
right.
That's the only way that's going to happen.
Well, if you buy a website, they give you for another, maybe it's another $12 a year or $11 a year. You can buy security where a company will just put their address up so they won't call you. Mm-hmm. And they'll give them
it's another way to get extra money out of you.
Yeah, it's another way to get extra money out of you.
Well, that's how the white pages were. You had to pay, back in the day, $5 extra per month to keep your name out of the white pages.
Right. So, yeah, I remember there was an old comedian who used to do that. Well, I don't understand that. If you go to the grocery store, I see you don't have any eggs, you don't have any of this. Why would you charge you for something to take you out of something? Well, just don't put you in there.
Yeah.
But
you should be beating the doors down to get into the phone book. Now, I haven't even seen a phone book.
They throw them on the lawn.
Yeah, but that's that Donnelly directory. It wasn't like the official. Remember back in the day, the official Bell Atlantic one. Yeah, for the whole county.
Yeah. Why would you even?
Why would the screen door propped open?
There's no reason to even have a phone book. With the phone now, it's just crazy how easy it is to get.
Yeah, the yellow pages was all the advertising. The white pages was residential listings.
Yeah, so you don't even need that. You can't look up people anymore.
Well, thanks to the computer. Even if they are making a phone book, how much life is left in that?
Well, forget about that. How many people still have a phone number that's, how many people have a landline?
Well, I do.
Of course you do.
Yeah, but part of the reason of that is because of my security system. It goes through the phone lines to dial the police station.
Okay,
which I'm sure it can be done wireless now.
Yeah.
But why take that chance?
Well, they can still cut the phone lines.
And that'll automatically trigger the alarm, and then they're coming to my house.
Okay. Now, I love it now, where you can put a camera they have a wireless camera that'll use your wireless network. You put it outside your window. You have an app on your phone. You don't even have to be home. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, it has a motion detector.
Well, they got that doorbell ringer.
It's called
too.
Ring, yeah. And then, but you can have another one up on the top. And it can go, it can have a wide angle lens.
Well, that's what my neighbor across the street, I mentioned the last podcast, that's what he did. He has a 5-camera shoot going on.
That's right.
Yeah, backyard, the front door, looking down the street in each direction.
Yes, that's nice.
Yeah, they caught that one guy trying to, rob my next door neighbor who lives across the street from this guy.
Right. So, nowadays, with the way the technology is going now, you're going to need less and less things as far as, phone lines pretty soon, cable TV. I think you're going to have it where you're just going to buy a network. You're either going to buy, I'm telling you right now, I'm about 2 seconds away from cutting the cord and going out without cable and just using internet. Mm-hmm. I don't need the phone line. I have one because it's cheaper. I've never plugged the phone into it.
Yeah, Comcast is beating my brains in.
Right now, if I get rid of my TV, I can get Hulu and Netflix.
Well, Netflix, Hulu,
and then Amazon. And between those three, I could watch for as much as I watch TV.
Well, then some of the channels also you can subscribe, like AMC. I think.
Here's the problem. The first thing they do is you want to subscribe to that. They want to know what your cable provider is.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you say, I don't have one. Well, here's a bill for this. We can't do that because, they're on the cable network. And that's another thing. If we're getting into this, I've got 1,000 channels and I don't want 900 of them. Mm-hmm. Why can't I just pick the best 100 channels?
Yeah, we talked about this before.
Why can't I pick them?
Because there's like 4 or 5 cable channels that I'm never going to listen because I don't speak Spanish.
Right.
So why can't I substitute those 5 channels for something else that I would watch?
Right.
Or even meet me halfway. I'll give up those 5. Just give me one.
Well,
something that I might give a shit about.
You know how you say I hang out on the Twitter all day? Mm-hmm. So this morning I look and it says, Verizon, we're giving you
unlimited data or something now.
And I'm thinking to myself, 7 years ago, I had unlimited data. But when the iPhones came and everybody was using this shitload of data, they're like, holy cow, we can charge for this and they'll pay.
Well, you had to never surrender that contract up. And believe it or not, there's one guy I work with, he's still doing that, and it's an absurd amount of data. It's like, 80 million gigs. I mean, I'm serious. Like, he just constantly streams movies, music.
What is iPhone 3?
Yeah. No, he's got a Droid.
Okay.
But he had AT&T. Okay, now AT&T went with the unlimited revision like a couple of months ago.
Yeah, what happens
and now
is
Verizon
they give you a certain amount of high-speed internet.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go over that, if you're in Sprint,
I don't know what
it comes to a screeching halt.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing on AT&T, but I mean, he's downloading he's gobbling data.
Well, I knew it was going to only be a matter of time before they all get in line when the one person offers something.
Well, it's competition. It's good for the consumer.
Here's the thing, and this is the way it should be. You get unlimited data, unlimited text, unlimited talk, $50 per phone. There you go. That's it. All right? That's all.
Yeah, but what about the phone?
What about the phone?
Well, a lot of the cost in your contract is the cost
so
of
you buy your own
having
phone. You buy your own phone.
Well, they won't let you do that no more.
Well, that's the other thing. If I buy a phone and I have Verizon, and all of a sudden Verizon gives me some crap, I have my iPhone 7, I just paid $650 for it. Well, screw you. I'm going to go to Sprint. Oh, can't use that phone. Why? Because it's for Verizon. It's an iPhone. What's the difference?
Well, then they have to take out
they got to
the
unlock
SIM card and all that stuff.
Yeah, they got to unlock it, so, and then move
which can be done. But I mean, I have Verizon. And I bought the Queen of Dilly Dally an iPhone for Christmas. And I said, well, if I just buy it. When I got my iPhone a year ago, I could have bought the phone.
Right.
They changed it. So we don't do that no more. Well, now you have to.
You can buy a phone now.
Not through Verizon, you can't.
You go right to the Apple Store, say you want to buy an iPhone, and Verizon's your.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. If I go to Verizon.
You can't buy one.
Right.
I got you. I know what you're saying, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
And most people are like,
Well, the new iPhone's coming out now. I forget what it's, the new iPhone X or whatever, because they're going to be 10 years old.
They're skipping over to 7.
The 7s are out now.
Yeah, right. They just came out.
Yeah. So, and they've skipped over before. They've skipped over things before, I think, or maybe not.
I had the first iPhone when I worked for Nat Sherman.
Right. They're going to be $1,000 or $1,200. They're going to be right in line with the low end MacBook Pro.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be the same price for the iPhone. And I'm thinking to myself, are they going to price themselves out of the market? Because
no,
you have
because what they'll do is they'll make the contract very attractive somehow. They might, what they might do? They might extend the time instead of being 24 months. It's like, and this is a 29-month contract.
Yeah,
that's what the car companies started to do with the leases.
Yeah, they make them longer. But my thing is right now is I bought the 7, and I'll have that 7 until 27.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm not one that, just jumps on the next bit of technology.
If I could go back to having a flip phone.
Oh, here we go with that crap again, the flip phone.
Boy, do I know how to ring your charge. Yeah.
You're not going to go back to the flip phone. That's ridiculous.
I like the fact. Yeah, I like the flip phone. It's great. It concealed nicely. You look like Captain Kirk when you open it up.
Yeah, you can't do anything on it.
Yeah, I had internet on mine. Of course, the screen was like...
Yeah, and you got to punch the buttons like you're over there like...
Oh, man, I was the expert. I could drive and text on that, like hit the 3 button like 4 times like, to get the letter you want.
Mm-hmm. Well, wait a minute. We had somebody here. What? Oh, they're here to hear the eating contest.
Oh.
Lauren from B&B are here.
Okay, guys.
Guess we're
to get the
I watched that movie about McDonald's last night. Haven't had it in years, but he wants a 20-piece McNugget now. I don't know if he's still here or not. I was just looking at Mixler because, we only get an hour. So we got to go. Oh, Lauren. Poor Lauren. I'm not going to be able to make it. We're not going to be able to do it. You're going to have to listen to it on the podcast because we only got like 2 minutes left.
Unless you Facebook Live it.
Can I Facebook Live it? Yeah, we can Facebook Live it. All right. Well, I'm going to shut down Mixler right now. Sorry, Mixler. We're going to do the next thing we're going to do is the Oreo eating contest, because on Bold and Belligerent, they did the Oreo eating contest. And I said Luke did 9 Oreos. And
I heard him say 7.
So, well, I'm going to try to beat 9, but the record's 15. So we'll see what happens there.
Go big or go home.
Right. And maybe, I don't know. I gotta look. I forget how much it is. I think it's like $15 a month to upgrade to Mixler. But it's $15 here, $15 for this, $15 for that. it's ridiculous. And nobody really listens to yet. So I figured if we get some people to come here, then maybe I'll do the whole show on here. But for right now, we can't. All right. And I wasn't paying attention to the Mixler.
Yeah, meanwhile, it's like getting back to the Oreo thing. I'm so backed up on podcasts, so I didn't even listen. I'd listened to it this morning after
I told you.
Yeah, after you said that thing.
Well, I didn't think you were going to eat. I thought it was just me.
Well, what are you going to can't let you eat.
Well, you usually come here and drink beer, and I couldn't see you drinking beer and drinking milk and eating Oreos.
Oh, I am a professional. I didn't know I was going to be involved in competitive eating today because I had a cheesesteak right after I got your message from whoa, what's this Oreos? I didn't know that. Because cheesesteaks are my favorite sport.
I hear you. You can eat it. You can eat more cheesesteaks than I can. All right, Mixler.
Remember that time we went there and I got
Let me say goodbye to Mixler, and then we'll talk about that.
So long, Mixler.
Are you sure you want to stop this broadcast? Yes.
Are you sure you want your airbag to deploy to save your life?
Would you like to view it now? No. All right. See you, Mixler. So should we do the Facebook Live thing? Let me go look at it.
Sure, why not?
Why not?
People want to see us disgustingly gorge.
While I'm doing this, bring the camera over here so we can kind of get a better angle. All right, I'll bring up Facebook Live. We'll do it on my page. All right, we got to get set up here. Facebook Live video. So anyhow, we're doing episode 37. Wow. And I was listening to, what's the name of that?
Bold and Belligerent.
See, I'm all screwed up here because I'm doing too many things.
I got your back.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm setting up my iPad. How do you do that?
So evidently they
help me out
discussing a Oreo eating contest, and I didn't know anything about it because I'm backed up on podcasts. So John shot me a screenshot of a box of Oreos, and I'm like, and he says show prep, and I'm like, oh, what's that mean? So he explained it to me. So now I had to quickly listen to it, and apparently the world record is 78 Oreos in 5 minutes.
Right. So they
divided that by 5,
and
it comes to 15 Oreos per minute. So they
tried to do
ate a shitload of Oreos,
and Luke was 9.
I thought it was 7.
All right, so I'm going to try to beat 9. All right, so I have my Oreos lined up like poker chips. So I have 6 on each side. So that's 12. I can't go for the record because I was practicing today. And I ate the rest of the cookies.
Wait a minute, how many did you eat?
This many.
Well, how many's in a bag?
Oh, we fat shaming again?
No, that's a small bag.
Well, per 3 cookies. Let's see. It's per 3 cookies.
No, I mean,
so let me see.
What's the count?
Hang on. I'm trying to figure it out.
1,000,006.
All right. So it says per 3 cookies. So there's 12 servings. 12 times 3 is
36.
36. So there's 36 cookies in there. And I have 12 here. So I ate 24 practicing. Well, actually, I ate 10 practicing, and I snacked on the rest of them while I was working today. So just coming down to brass tacks here is what I have.
This is the proper Oreo cookie
stop.
size.
That is not.
It's a gigantic Oreo.
Yeah, but that's a fag Oreo.
Thanks.
Because it's the blonde one?
Yeah.
It's not a real Oreo.
Does it say Oreo on it?
Yeah.
Then I rest my case.
It's not a real Oreo.
Ergo, ipso facto, it is a Oreo.
All right, so I have a little napkin here.
First.
All right, so I'm going to go first. Okay.
This
so
should be
timer.
This should be disgusting.
Can you see the timer?
Watching 2 guys chow down on.
I got to try to get my microphone so I don't.
That's why I said we should do this separately.
Okay.
So you go first, and then
all right. So I got the timer so the camera can see it. Hopefully, is anybody watching? Got 3 people watching.
I'm sure they're transfixed.
Oh yeah. Here we go. We're going to eat the cookies. I got to get my cookies.
Now, what are you starting off with there? How many?
I have 12.
12 cookies. Do you want extras?
No.
Do you want the?
No, not since you have those cookies. They're not.
Oh yeah, because they're not Oreos. They don't say Nabisco on them.
If I can get through these cookies in a minute, that'll be a miracle. All right. So I'm going to press this. I'm just going to go.
Oh wait a minute. I should press it, so you should start.
Okay. Well, you want to come over here and press
that way you get the maximum amount of time.
All right. Here we go. Well, come on over here because I'm loading up. I got cookie and finger, so we're going to see if we can eat. See how I can do in a minute. Ready? Go.
6. He's working it. He's working it. 30 seconds. Halfway. $20 seconds. Coming up on 10 seconds. On my mark. Mark! 3, 2, 1.
I'll tell you what.
It's not as easy as it sounds.
I was rolling for a while, but then you get like cookie remnants in the sides, in your cheeks, like a chipmunk,
Right?
and it starts to build up, and you got to kind of swallow it, swish that around, and get rid of it.
Pockets of cookies.
I had pockets of cookies, so I beat Luke by 1 cookie.
I think he beat him by 3 because I still think it was 7.
I got milk drip down the front of me.
Yeah, that's a mess.
Well, now I can enjoy my last 2 cookies. And my
Goddamn
glass of milk.
barbarian.
See, I'm not much of a speed eater.
It seems like 78 cookies in 5 minutes.
That's a lot of cookies.
Well, during the 4th of July on Coney Island, they do the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, and they get those, for some reason, Asians are very good at this.
Yeah, I know.
These guys that wolf down like 48 hot dogs.
Yeah, they dunk them in water and they swallow them whole.
Yeah, it's like,
I figured there's a couple gals over there on the strip in Kensington that could do that too. Just saying.
just saying.
Oh, a lot of cookies.
How warm is that milk?
It was a little too warm. I would have rather had it a little bit colder.
Like this? I've got an ice chest.
Oh, you think of everything.
Yeah, well, you know. All right. What did
It's not like I don't have like 15 ice chests around here. I could have done the same thing.
What did you get? You got 10 cookies out?
I had 12.
12 out?
Yeah, and I got all but 2.
But these aren't real Oreos, according to you, so.
Well, they're blonde Oreos.
They're still Oreos. They make them with sprinkles. They make them with St. Patrick's Day.
All you're missing is a pork pie hat.
A what?
Pork pie hat, like what the millennials or those hipsters. They're hipster Oreos is what they are. They're not real Oreos. This is a real Oreo. The chocolate with the...
I don't know. Oreo is Oreo.
He's taking his watch off.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't want to get sloppy.
He's cracking his knuckles. He's doing some stretches over here.
Yeah, calisthenics.
All right, so how many cookies you got out?
I'm getting them out now.
Okay.
What did you start at, with 12?
I started with 12 because, well, that's all I had left.
Why not?
I would have put 15 out there.
I would offer you the blonde, but you said that they're gay, so I'm not going to.
Gay as gay can be.
Not that there's anything wrong.
Right.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
And let me tell you something. In a pinch, if there was no other Oreos around, I would probably eat them.
I like these Oreos.
Well, what's the difference? That's right. What's the difference, asshole?
That's right. It's just answered my question. Are you ready? You ready on the timer?
All right. Ready? I'm going to count it down. 3.
Wait.
What?
Go ahead.
3, 2, 1, go. And he's off. And there's 1 cookie. 1 cookie. Ah. All right, 10 seconds down. He's still on the first cookie. Oh, okay. I don't know how many he just shoved in there. I think that was 3. There might be a rules violation on that one, but that's okay. Go ahead. You do it, man. You keep going. Because I didn't tell you about the rules, so that's not your fault. You might have been able to pick us up here. All right. So it looks like. So I think he's in 6. I think he just ate 6 cookies because he did 1, then he did 3, then it looked like 2. And you got 23 seconds on the clock. So that was 6 cookies. That's I think that was another 3. Might have been 2. So now we're down to almost. I'm going to get ready to. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. All right, that's it. How many did you get?
10.
You got 10? Wow. Look at you. Wait a minute. 10 and them 2? Or with those 2 would be 10?
10. This
10
is
in.
12.
That's 12. Okay. John, shut off that stupid timer. Well, look at us. See, what they were doing them 1 at a time. They weren't putting more than 1 in their mouth.
That's your problem.
But I think that was part of the rules. But you didn't know that because you didn't really listen. Because I could have, if that's the case, you could put more than one in your mouth. I probably would have been able to do 20
at a time.
Yeah, you were doing. It looked like one time you threw 3 in there.
No,
I was pretty impressed.
I could have tried that, but I said, "Boy, I'm going to look real foolish on Facebook Live, choking to death." So,
yeah, because I'd have to come over there and give you the Heimlich
or the Heidnick maneuver if you're from good old Gary Heidnick.
All right. Oh, and the camera's on me the whole time. I don't even know if they could see you. Oh, no, they could see you. Look at that. You could see us.
Yeah, but I got all this obstruction.
All right, I'll have to tell the Bolden belligerent people.
I got some more Oreos over here.
I still have 2. I still got 2 cookies left.
I get to drink this milk.
A nice and cold?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, well, I think that's about it. I think we're done for that. Actually, we're going to do a show within an hour. Is that crazy that we're actually going to do an hour show?
Yeah.
Well, how about that?
Yeah,
Listen, when you're done, you're done.
Look at us.
All I know is it looks like there's a wire explosion over here. We can't have that. I got to do something. I can't stand wires.
When you told me, though, that you were going to eat 15, I was like,
that's 4 seconds. That's one every 4 seconds.
Yeah, that's why I broke it down. I was like, and you said, yeah, I was like, 15?
You are a mental case.
That's a lot of cookie.
That is a lot of cookie.
I didn't know I was going to get involved in competitive eating. I haven't eaten competitively in a while.
Right.
Not since I won the steak eating contest of 15.
Right. Well, I remember we used to go to Big Jim Steaks and
Big John's.
Cherry
Hill.
Yeah. Well, the one we went to was in Berlin. Mm-hmm. And you could order a large. And a large is like 2 normal large steaks.
2 12-inch rolls.
It's like, that's their large. So I ordered a large, and you ordered 2.
No, you ordered a regular cheesesteak is half.
Okay. I ordered 1. You ordered 2 large.
Right.
So mine comes, and I can eat. All right. The guy that come over, I thought to myself, this is the wrong order because there's 5 cheesesteaks. She's coming up with 5 cheesesteaks. 1 for me, 4 for Deuce.
Right.
He ate every one of them.
Yeah. It's my favorite sport.
Yeah, I couldn't eat that many.
Then remember I had to eat the 4 pizza burgers that time because of that bastard old boss of mine.
Well, because you don't like seafood. That's your own fault.
Well, no, he cheated me out of money.
Right. Because you don't like seafood.
Right.
Right. Because everybody else was eating seafood and you were having a hamburger.
No, that's not true. You're partially right.
Alternative facts?
No. You just don't know. You're just forgetting the full story.
Of course I am. That's what I do.
Yeah, right. You embellish the shit out of stuff.
Well,
I had my boss was a notorious cheapskate, and he was eating on the company. We were all eating on the company's dime, but he would bring his wife and daughter down. Mm-hmm. So we go to this seafood place, and as you know, if you eat seafood, you get AIDS and die. So the only thing
that's not true.
The only thing they had on the menu that I would eat is a pizza burger, and it came with coleslaw and fries. And at that time, it was $3.95. So we're sitting there. Oh, and you were allowed to eat up to $14. Okay, so we all went to this place that was the meal allowance for dinner, $14. This is going back in the 80s. So the check comes. He goes, all right, everyone put in their money. And I'm having a good time with one of the other guys at the end of the table. And he says, how much money did you put in? I put in $7. He was like, $7? He got all angry. Yeah, I was a pizza burger. It was $3.95. It was like $7. We bought our own beers and wine. Wine coolers were the thing back then. And he starts yelling at me and dressing me down in front of everyone. He says, well, here's because meanwhile his wife, they're from Long Island, so they got that whole New York, Long Island thing. I will have the snappy soup and the lobster bisque. It's like eating with Marge Schott. So... Well, yeah, that's the thing. It was like, yeah, because his wife and daughter are cleaning it. Now I got to pay for them.
Uh-oh.
Even though it was the company's money, it was just the thing. Suppose I wanted a pizza later on, or I wanted to go,
right.
It's my meal allowance. So we used to go down to the shore 3 times a year. So the next time we went down there, we're all sitting down there, and they're doing this. The daughter wasn't there this time, but the husband and the wife are doing the same thing again.
I'll have the snapper soup.
I'll have the lobster bisque. I'll have the swordfish, and I'll have the... I hope they're both on fire right now. So they come to me, and I said, I'm not ready yet. And so they skip over me. They go around the whole table. And then they come back to me, and I said, I'll have 4 pizza burgers, and I'm not kidding, I'll have 4 pizza burgers. And like everyone stops, and the waitress says to Diane, "Is he serious?" And Diane had no idea. "Oh yeah, he's serious." So I said, "Yeah." And all those French fries that come with it, just put in a big basket and just put all the coleslaw in one bowl. That's fine. So I ate those 4 pizza burgers. I ate the coleslaw. I split the fries with somebody.
Right.
And then when the check came, I just reached in and said, "Here's my $14, Herb." And after that, we never had to eat with them every single night ever again. It was like, so I did everybody a favor. So then we went up to Carlisle, and it was the all-you-can-eat steak restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And it was me and 4 other guys. And we didn't know it, but our wives were taking bets on who was going to win. And my wife bet against me.
What?
Yeah. She like, "Well, if you look at Roy, he's so big and fat and everything like that." Well, she didn't say fat. I might be but she said he's so big,
That's okay.
But I had him on the ropes. I looked over like at 14.
14 steaks?
I ate 14. I ate 15. He was keeping
How
up with me.
big were the steaks?
They were like chicken cutlets.
Wow.
So I ate 15 of them. But at number 14, I looked down at the table, and he looked like John Candy.
He had the meat sweats?
Yeah, he was like slowing down. I said, "Oh, I got him now. He's on the rope." So I got up, and I got my 15 steak, and I ate that. And then when I was done that, I didn't get any more steak, but I wanted to send a message. So then I went up and got mashed potatoes and rice and green beans. I had my veggies after the protein. And then I went up and I had rice pudding for dessert, And
My God.
I said, "Did he throw up?" And Diane, "Nah, he eats like that all the time." So
I can't imagine. Well, forget about that. I can't imagine the next day, the devastation in the toilet.
No, it was fine.
It's got to go somewhere. I mean, if I ate like that, holy cow, the next day.
Yeah, I was running around, showing off.
I think
they were waiting for me to pass out.
At like 22 or 23, we went to Pat Steaks one time, and I had a cheesesteak eating contest. And I ate 5 cheesesteaks.
Regular ones.
Regular size Pat's cheesesteaks.
Well, that's one more than what I ate at Big John's.
I can't really eat like that now. I mean, I probably still could eat a large pizza by myself, and I probably could do 2 good-sized steaks and a boatload of, I could
do a large pie standing on my head.
Yeah.
And I'm talking crust and everything.
Right.
Some people say, "Oh, I eat a whole large pizza." And you look in the box and all the crust is there.
Get eaten.
Yeah. It's
Start
like,
chewing.
You ain't done. And then I want you to lick the crumbs out of the bottom of the box.
All right.
Too.
You don't have to do it. It's a little crazy.
Lick the gravy off the top of the box.
So let's see who we have watching. Matt says, I'm sure there's room in that belly for 10 Oreos. Of course there's room. It's just trying to get them in there. That's the problem. Trying to get them down there.
Yeah, but you're right.
Trying to get them down to shoot.
But you're right. As soggy as those cookies were, they just wander all over your orifice. It's like, oh.
They're rambling around.
Yeah, it's like, ooh. But I was packing 2 at a time in there.
Yeah, I could have done 2 at a time. I was shocked. I went through the first 6 really quick.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I got this.
Then you had to start breathing.
And breathing became an issue.
Ooh, I might die. I better breathe.
All right, well, let's wrap up this show.
The shenanigans.
If you want to check us out and connect with us on social media, you can always go to brandxpodcast.com/contact. And we're on Facebook and the Twitter and Instagram.
Those shout-outs?
Oh, we got
3 is comedy.
3 is comedy. I didn't get a chance to listen today. The 3 is comedy.
No, I did promptly at 6.
I'm sure you. It wasn't out promptly at 6, so I would have listened to it.
That wasn't?
No.
Well, I got up at 6:20. It was there.
Okay.
I might have that direct feed.
Ice in the Face. That was a good show this week.
Toe on the trigger.
Toe on the trigger. Did you hear about Cassie?
Yeah. That was
She's
shocking.
leaving. She gave her 2 weeks' notice.
Yeah, that was a shock.
All right, Daniel, I've got to tell you what. You got to get another broad in there. Don't bring another dude in there because I just don't think that it's going to be the same dynamic. You got to have another girl in there where you can talk openly about sex. 2 guys talking about sex is kind of creepy, and I don't know.
Here's your shovel. Keep digging.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. 2 guys talking about sex. I don't know.
Like, yeah, because that never happens.
Well, I understand that, but you're listening in.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do I know? Yeah. Get another broad. That's what I'm telling you right now.
Now that I'm older?
Now that I'm older.
Bold and belligerent?
And yeah, bold and belligerent. That's why we're doing this cookie challenge.
Horribly awkward.
And what was the other one? Oh, the story behind.
Yep.
Beyond. No, behind.
Behind the story. Suddenly, Emily's doing a science fiction podcast. The story beyond.
She's doing a
it's like a Twilight Zone thing.
She's doing a month-long series on Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool with the ping pong and the other stuff. And then our friends, Bad Cop. You got to go listen to the Eye of the Tubby. That song.
Totally live. Totally tubby. That was pretty good.
Yeah. I'm this close to having a bone to pick with the Podern family. Not the Podern family as a group, as podcasters. I like the Podern family, all the podcasters. But the group, the Podern family, like they have a Facebook page, and we're never, ever feature us. I don't know whose dick you got to suck to get into that portion of it.
Oh, I hope that's not the litmus test.
Well, what happens is whoever it is, the low man on the podcast totem pole has to take that on the chin. So sorry, Deuce, you might have to take one for the team.
I'll show you how fast I can quit.
You and Cassie.
That movie's not playing on my VCR.
So
DVD.
Right. So I can't get on there. And then they had the podcast. They did put a tweet out, and it was like 4 podcasts for the best podcast on the Podern family for the month, I think it was, or the week, or whatever it was. And nothing for nothing, but I never heard of half of these podcasts. And I'm like,
how many is there? Do you know what the hard and fast number is? The people that belong?
Don't have a clue. But I'm like, well, how do I get on that?
It's kind of ethereal. No one knows.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to take a shot at having, someone picking the podcast or even checking it out or listening to it, trying to get some promotion here. I mean, we talk about the Podern family every podcast. Mm-hmm. We promote
sure
them.
Do.
Yeah. Oh, also, congratulations to a Couple Things podcast. Next week is their 100th episode. And we're on 37?
Yep.
There we go. So we'll be almost 50 soon. Yes, John, if you do the math.
Yeah, 13 weeks.
13 weeks, you'll have 50.
Assuming we don't take a hiatus. For your surgery or whatever.
Right. Well, after these cookies.
13 weeks.
I don't know, dude. I'm really starting to backpedal on the surgery.
Well, I wouldn't.
Okay, well, I'll give you.
I know. I work with so many guys who have done this, and it's been a success for all of them.
Okay, you're right. All right.
Don't be a pussy.
I'm not. It's not being a pussy. Well, okay, a little bit. But the issue I'm having with it is because, like today, I bought these at 8 o'clock. That's a whole thing. That's a whole thing of Oreos I ate. Mm-hmm. It's 5 o'clock. I ate 36 Oreos.
Well, you won't have to eat later on.
Right. So.
Now is that all you ate today was Oreos?
Well, no, not when I bought the Oreos, I bought 2 breakfast sandwiches at Heritage's, and they have the best breakfast sandwiches, which is basically it's like 2 eggs they put in a microwave, and they put it on a real Kaiser roll, and then it has cheese, and then I got one with pork roll and one with scrapple. Dude, that was good. So I ate 2 of those for breakfast, and then those.
Yeah, I got up early. I had my bowl of Cheerios. Then I did work. And then I had the cheesesteak for lunch. Mm-hmm. And then I found out I was going to be in a competitive eating contest. So at least I had the cheesesteak and the Cheerios going for me. Then it's early enough I could probably still eat dinner.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yes, I could do the same thing.
You want me to leave this box of Oreos
No, please take them with you. You'll come back and then you'll say,
you want them. Okay. Little boy, I've got some Oreos.
This is why I don't. This is why if you go upstairs in my cabinet, you'll never find a cookie, a pretzel, a potato chip, or anything like that. I can't have anything in the house like that because my issue is I'm a.
If it's there and you know it's there, you're going to eat it.
I'm an overeater or whatever that is. I have it's like a addiction, and so for me,
we had an old neighbor in our development. He was an alcoholic when we were growing up. Whenever he was having company, he had to then go out and buy beer, and bring it home because if it was in the house, he would just go through it. Yeah, well, he couldn't So if you just drop by his house unannounced, you're going to die of thirst before you got a beer because he wouldn't have it.
There's a bottle of Jack Daniels up, a fifth of Jack Daniels up on my refrigerator.
Oh, we should have done cookies and Jack in Tioga.
Oh, please!
Next podcast.
Throwing up.
Cookie? You can't do cookies and Jack no more?
I don't think so.
Oh, they're great when you dunk them.
Stop it. So, I mean, it's been up there. The seal's not even broken. It's been up there for over a year and a half, maybe 2 years. It's been up there. So I won't. But if you put those Oreo cookies, two things of those, I'd go through them in a week. So I'm like that guy. I got to go buy the beer when the people are coming.
I remember watching not Saturday morning cartoons, but cartoons after school.
Mm-hmm.
I would rip through an entire bag of the Chips Ahoy.
Yeah.
Back when they were really good, because they were made with like whole fat and butter and sugar, and now they got God knows what's in them.
Corn syrup.
Yeah, when we were kids, they were like the real deal.
Yes.
I remember sitting there with a big-ass glass of milk, just dunking cookie after cookie, and I would rip through that whole, but my mom would have a seizure. You know, it was, who ate all the cookies? And,
yeah, so anyhow, I'm just, I'm thinking that maybe I have to get this, I have to get it under control before I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm just babbling.
Well, you won't be able to eat like that after the process.
Of course you won't.
Because one guy, a good friend of mine, he's lost a person.
Yeah.
He's down now to 220.
Right.
But he's taller than I am. He's like 6'3".
Right.
But he was well over 350.
Okay.
So he's, but like you said, he says you can't even eat like that anymore. You won't be able to. And he's doing the right thing, too. He's going to the gym. He's exercising. So
yeah, I got a friend of Pat Palladino, the guy I used to work on the race car with. He says, you didn't look like that working on the Mateo 32. No, I was a lot svelter then. That was right before I met you. So I was right around 240 pounds, 250, 240 pounds at the time. Anyhow.
Yeah, it's 30. This year it'll be 30 years, I think.
Yep, that's right.
You told Jason 35.
You know me.
Yeah, 30, 35, 40, 48
somewhere
years.
Around there. Very loose with the facts.
Yeah, this October it'll be 30.
There we go. So, anyhow, what's our anniversary? What's the 30th anniversary? Do we have to exchange gifts?
No, that's gay.
This gays and cookies. So anyhow,
I don't know this.
All right, Facebook, we're out of here. Thank you for listening, and come on back next week for another Brand X podcast.
Have a good one.
That's it. I'm just getting into it.
Cookies aren't gay.
Cookies are gay.